guess if I was a CEO, the last thing I would worry about is putting a fucking Ferrari in my driveway and helping out those that need help, you know? If I was the CEO of a company, and I saw that this guy had been pleading since November, I would give this dude an open door policy to make things right, to try to do things better.
Fuck my pussy.
Here we are talking about this situation again because it's really pathetic bullshit. It really is. Literally just 2 days ago, My Little Pony family-friendly animator StormXF3 just posted another tweet. Yet again referring to the monetization that YouTube is sticking around with their fucking dicks in their ass and not doing anything about. This particular content creator we've talked a lot about on this page, with recently posting a video I think about a day and a half, 2 days ago, about a controversy that wasn't even their fault when they've been begging for help since November of last year, and YouTube's been doing this to them the whole time, or doing this to them the whole time. And it's nonsensical bullshit. It really is. This person is a family-friendly content creator who recently got wronged of their demonetization back last year. Before we look into this recent post from StormXF3, we're going to look into this tweet that mentions about all the people that have been demonetized wrongly by YouTube, in which YouTube is claiming harmful content involving minors or misleading family content on some of these animators, which is fucking pure bullshit if you ask me. StormXF3 is listed in this post on Twitter, but there is also a huge list of other people as well that have been wrongfully terminated from their monetization or are a YouTube partner, in which, like I said previously, YouTube is just sticking around with their dicks in their ass and not doing anything. Recently, many animation channels have been randomly and falsely demonetized for harmful content involving minors or misleading family content. While non-AI 2D animations like the Gorillaz movie recently went viral on YouTube, YouTube's AI is actually erasing real indie animators behind the scenes. These creators are the future of indie animations, like the next Amazing Digital Circus or Hellaverse series. Please save the future of animation on YouTube. And if we scroll down, list of affected channels. These are a list of every single animator who has been wrongfully demonetized by the CEO or the corporation. And if we look right here, StormXF3 was one of them. But there is also all these other people, including Toonburger, Anonymous Mike, YouTube, Criminal Freddy's, and so many other individuals who had been wrongfully terminated from their demonetization. This has been a serious problem that we've talked about over the past few months, where, you know, we've called out YouTube on their bullshit because of StormXF3, but now it's growing to a list of over 10 animators who have been wrongfully demonetized. StormXF3 just posted another tweet 2 days ago. And this person, we've talked about a lot, since November of last fucking year, has been trying to get a hold of support to get their monetization back as a family-friendly My Little Pony animator. And YouTube hasn't done shit. The whole timeline on their Twitter, we've been reading, has been nothing full of demonetization messages in hopes of trying to get a hold of them. This was the last logistic post they ever posted on October 26th of last year. 2 months after this post, the first post was mentioning about how they got wrongfully demonetized for harmful content involving minors. This was the first post back in December of last year. Then shortly after that, they stated, January of this year, I would appreciate an answer. Can you please help me? In which YouTube has fucking ignored them on Twitter. And then we scroll up a little bit more. January 6th, a day after, or a day before I should say, before they had stated that they would appreciate an answer, they got another message from them. This time, the same AI-generated bullshit that they came out with in December or November of last year. January 6th then turned into January 31st of this year, where they were able to get a hold of somebody from the Trust and Safety Policy team, in which 3 weeks later they had also, yet again, been terminated from the monetization process despite being a family-friendly animator. Now we go from January 31st to the recent post made on February 6th where they are convincing their fans to show support through their Patreon because YouTube has sat around and did fucking nothing. And then after the Patreon post, it keeps going. This just shows how deranged the CEO has become. February 6th, yet again, talking about the demonetization situation. Then we scroll up even more. February 27th, they got a hold of them yet again, just to be brushed underneath the fucking rug again. This just shows how AI is destroying the future and how much of a sadistic little scumbag the CEO of YouTube has become. This person has been pleading for a response from a logistic human being since over November of last year, just to be pushed aside and brushed under the fucking rug, despite being a content creator that makes animations for children with over 3 million subscribers. And you can tell behind the microphone that I'm getting pissed. This person has been fucking trying to get a hold of these people since November of last year after a wrongful demonetization attacked their page. Since November! No fucking November of last year! Like, it's so much of an avoidable situation where you just put fucking Ranjeesh behind the computer and do something. But no, they instead choose to fucking ignore this person despite being a logistic content creator with over 3 million fucking subscribers, dog. I gotta take a deep breath real quick because this is just nonsense, dog. This person has been pleading for help from this company since November of last year. Okay, let's continue. So after February 27th, they reshared a post from me on March 3rd in which I had showed support for this individual, in which why we're talking about this ongoing series today, which is why, ironically, we're bringing this up again, because it is so fucking childish that a punk-ass billion-dollar corporation chooses to ignore their own content creators instead of helping those that had been asking for help since November of last year. It's become really ridiculous. So after this person had reposted this video from me, March 3rd of the same exact day, which is where we are today. Hey guys, sorry if I keep posting about my demonetization, but I need your help to gain the attention of Team YouTube. Some content creators are gaining their monetization back, but me and many others have been completely ignored. Which has been the case since this one particular individual has been trying to get a hold of support since winter of last year. And all this bitch has been doing at this fucking corporation is brushing them underneath the rug. And it is so fucking embarrassing to see how this person, since December of last year, literally to two days ago, is still without their monetization despite being a content creator with over 3 million subscribers. And this goddamn bitch who runs the corporation chooses to ignore their content creators. It's literally such a degrading, just awful, stressful situation. Over 10 animators have been faced with harmful content involving minors or misleading family content. And StormXF3 is one of those 10. And they make some really amazing work. And they've been pleading for help from the higher-ups since November of last year. And literally just 2 days ago, they posted another tweet still seeking help from these individuals, in which they've sat around and done nothing. So yeah, if my aggression triggers anybody, I'm sorry, but it's just, This person has been going since November of last year, and like 80 to 90% of their tweets have been them calling out YouTube for support, and YouTube has done nothing. You know, that's the problem that's wrong with a lot of things nowadays, is these higher-ups and these billion-dollar assholes are taking over, and they're leaving the middle class and lower class behind. If I was the CEO of a company, and I saw that this guy had been pleading since November, I would give this dude an open door policy to make things right, to try to do things better. There is less angelic rich people that are out there than there is upper class people that are seeking to destroy the entire fucking globe. And I feel like the CEO at YouTube is one of them. This person has been making family-friendly animations since their entire lifespan on YouTube. And it is just so hard to see that this person has been pleading for help since last year. And nobody from support has ever gotten in contact with them to try to make things right. There was one report that a logistic human being actually got in contact with this content creator, and then 3 weeks later brushed another lie right in their fucking face and then swept them under the rug. You know, some people call me an asshole, some people call me a man-child, but at least I have a fucking heart for people like this. This dude has been begging since last year. And it's just not right to them. And it's not right to his fans. It's not right to the fucking platform. It's just, it's bullshit. It really is. At least if I was a CEO, the last thing I would worry about is putting a fucking Ferrari in my driveway and helping out those that need help, you know?